Okay, everyone, I'm sharing the attendance QR code and also the attendance link in the chat. So you can key in your attendance first. Okay, everyone, we are going to start in 5 minutes. Please go and tell your friend to join now. There are only like, less than 100 participants right now.
Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to all. Thank you very much to all of you for attending this webinar. My name is Muhammad Nofa and I'm going to be moderating this webinar today. We are very glad to have you here to talk about a subject that has become increasingly urgent for us matriculation students, and that is the upcoming Muet. Take this webinar as a free helping hand for the upcoming Muet, which you all, including myself, will encounter very soon. First of all, some of you may not even know what Muet is. So, Muet stands for Malaysian University English Test. For short, we usually call it as Muet. So, Muet is compulsory for all STPM matriculation students as well as diploma and pre-university students who wish to pursue a first degree program in local university. Before we start our first session, I would like to invite the head of English unit, Puan Nur Ain Seman, to give her welcoming speech. Please welcome.
Okay, hi. Assalamualaikum and good morning. Thank you, Naufal. First and foremost, I would like to congratulate the English Unit Student Committee for their effort and hard work in making this webinar possible. We have been blessed with two experienced speakers, Puan Haniyanti and Puan Roy, who are willing to sacrifice their weekend break, just to share and impart some valuable tips and strategies regarding Muet. I truly hope that you will take this priceless opportunity to obtain as much information and knowledge as possible. You must know that you cannot simply score a high band in Muet despite being proficient in the language. Lo and behold, there are certain techniques, certain format that you have to apply in order for you to answer the questions accurately. I sincerely hope that the committee's due diligence will not go to waste and will bear fruits once the results are out. We don't want any, what you call that, we don't want, we only want band 3 or higher. Okay, so now without further ado, let's carry on with the webinar. Ready, set, and go. Thank you.
Thank you, Puan Nur Ain, for the lovely welcoming speech. Now, just some quick information. There will be a Q&A session at the end of every session. So please state your questions that are relevant with the topic that is being discussed. Without wasting any more time, I would like to invite the first speaker who will be covering the first session, Madam Harniyanti. She has more than 10 years of teaching experience in Muet. She has also given talks on speaking to Muet candidates. Without further ado, please welcome.
Okay, good morning. Thank you, Naufa. So, good day, everyone. I'm Harnianti Hamidun, and I've given a task to actually share with you what I do know and my experience teaching Muet in KMK. Okay, so without further ado, let's start right away with the session. Hopefully this will take 1 hour because after this we have another session. So if you happen to have any question, then feel free to write down in the comments so that I can address the question. Okay. So so today, this morning, this lovely morning, we are going to share. I'm going to share with you details of Muat speaking, particularly on what's going to happen during the exam day because it's coming very very soon. This coming Monday, right? Okay, so let's move on to the next slide. All right. So, firstly, we will start with the essential items that you must have with you during the exam day. All right. There are three things altogether, but we will start with the first one, which is the Muet slip. Okay, this Muet slip is something that you have to download from the MPM website. Okay, it's a must for you to download it because you have to actually um, pass this to the examiners later, uh, together with your IC, because the examiners will look at your MUET slip to ensure that you are the candidates who registered for the exam. All right. So on this MUET slip, you can also check your index number and then your actual exam session, because we have 6 days altogether, starting from this Monday up until the next week, Wednesday. Okay, so make sure you have the right date and the slot, because we have two slots daily. 7:30 a.m. That's the first slot, the first session, and then another one would be the second slot at 11 a.m. Okay. All right. So and one more thing, you have to memorize the index number printed on the MUET slip, because that is the one that will be used by the examiners to address you. Because your candidate, whether you are candidate A, B, or C, or D, will be based on your index number. So please memorize that. Okay, now IC is a must. If let's say you forgot your IC, then you can bring your license, driving license. But then we would prefer IC. This one is to prove that you are the right person who registered for the exam. Okay. All right, the third one is a pen or pencil. Okay, for your information, MPM only provides writing paper and also the question paper. So you have to bring your own pen or pencil. Okay, right, right. During the exam day, we have two rooms. Okay, for the candidates, we have the waiting room and also the exam room. Right. So before entering the exam room, before entering the waiting room, you have to make sure that you check your temperature. So I was informed by the PP exam that they will have a person in charge to actually take your body temperature. Okay, and then you have to memorize this temperature, as you have to actually write it down, note it down on the COVID-19 declaration form. Okay, this COVID-19 declaration form can be downloaded from the MPM website. But then the JPN, Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri, has actually printed out this declaration form, and it's been given to the examiners. So the examiners asked to actually pass this to pengawas calon. Pengawas calon uh, is the one in charge for each waiting room. So they are supposed to pass this declaration form to the candidates before they enter the waiting room, because the examiners will have to actually check, and if there's anyone with symptoms of COVID-19, then you are not allowed to enter the room. And if your body temperature is higher than 37, then you are also not allowed to enter the room. Okay, so you have to come another day. All right. So if let's say you want to be prepared, you can always download this declaration form from the MPM website yourself, fill it in. Okay, so then when you come to the waiting room, you just simply have to note down your body temperature and then pass it to the pengawas calon, and then you can then enter the exam room. Okay, so once you enter the exam room, you have to actually key in your attendance. Okay, so this attendance is crucial in a sense that it will determine your grouping later on. So we will make the grouping based on how many candidates who turn up to that particular waiting room. Okay. Normally, we have about 20 candidates registered for that particular center, for each center. I was informed that we have about 14 center in KMK. Okay. So that's a lot. Okay. So there will be about 14 means that there will be 28 examiners altogether. So for each session, there will be the morning session 7:30. We will have about 20 candidates, so that makes it about 5 groups. Okay, and then the second session will be about 16, so 4 groups. Okay, so if let's say all 20 candidates turn up, then we will have 4 in a group, that equals to 5 groups altogether. Okay, so the grouping is done by pengawas calon and based on the attendance of the candidate. So we don't know about the grouping, so don't ask me about the, is my group members going to be the same? No, everything depends on the candidates. If everyone present, then it remains as it is. But if someone like leave the program, even though they have registered and they don't turn up, then there will be a change to the grouping. Okay, so it all depends on how many who turn up to the exam, to the waiting room on that particular day. Okay, so right. So from this, during the actual day, the actual exam day, um, once you enter the waiting room, there will be a briefing by the head examiner. We have 2 examiners, the head examiner and the second examiner. So the head examiner will actually brief you on what you are going to go through, all the SOPs, all the format of the basic format of Muet, and also they will inform you what the do's and the don't. Let's say, for example, the handphone. If you bring your handphone with you, then you have to actually shut it down and then keep it with you. You are not allowed to use your phone the moment you enter the waiting room until you enter the exam room. Okay, so please be aware of that, because ever since the COVID-19, we are no longer allowed to take the phone. Previously, um, we normally the examiners will actually take the phone, so that no one's will be using the phone. Okay, so one more thing, because the uh, exam actually starts very early, okay, at 8 a.m. and you have to be there as early as 7:15. So my advice is for you to actually take your breakfast first, because you have to wait up until 10:30, especially the last group, for you to actually leave the room and actually go to your class or whatsoever. First, is going to take a while. And one more thing, you can't even, okay, once the exam starts, you can't even go to the toilet, so you have to relieve yourself before that. Okay, because if let's say suddenly during the session, candidates have to actually go to the toilet, then the examiner have to stop the exam, the session. Okay, so that is going to disrupt the timetable, and because we have another slot in the morning at 11. So I would advise you to um, be sure that you follow whatever rules and briefing given by the examiners. Okay, all right, so moving on to the next slide. Where's the slide? All right. Okay, so enough with the exam room, the waiting room. So we are at the highlight of today's session, where I'm going to share with you the some tips on how to tackle the questions. Okay, So we have, we'll start with part one. Okay. So for part one, um, this there'll be a different situation given for part one and part two. So we'll start with part one first. Right. So the situation given here, smartphone has become very important nowadays. So how does smartphone help improve people's lives? Okay, let's take a look at candidate A's task. Okay, you have to give a presentation to your club members. Talk about using it for online banking. Okay, so this is the question, right? That you have to address in part one. Okay, so the assessment criteria for part one will be based on these three criterions. Okay, so we have task fulfillment, discourse management, and language. So the marks we have two bands basically lah. Sorry, two bands, lower band and higher bands. Okay, so we have for lower band we have band 3, band 2, band 1, and for the higher band we have band 4, band 5, and 5 plus. No more band 6 because we are aligning this to CEFR, so the highest band would be 5 plus. Okay, so when examiners assessing the marks, we will look at how the student or the candidate respond to the task. Okay, let's say the answer given is online transaction. When you use smartphone, it helps with online transaction, particularly on online banking because it's convenient and easy access. Okay, let's say if candidate responded this way, smartphone helps people as we can use it for online banking, which is very convenient to everyone due to its easy access while transferring money online. Okay, and stop. Okay, so if and then you continue with your second point or your third point within the 2 minutes presentation. So the examiners will normally evaluate based on number one, task fulfillment. We will look at when we are talking about task fulfillment, we are looking at the content of the candidate's answer or response. Okay, um, is the content relevant? Meaning that is it answering what the question wants? So if it's relevant, like just now, it's saying that it's very convenient and easy access. Okay, using online transaction via online banking. Okay, so the examiners will say that okay, relevant. Okay, pass. Okay, so is the idea appropriate? Yes. Okay, so and then we will move on to the next part in terms of the examiners will look at the second part, which is the development of ideas. The ideas is relevant. Okay, let stage one pass. Second stage is the development of ideas, whether the ideas given is developed or not. Okay, just now the candidate was just saying that it's convenient. People use it for because it's easy access using phone while transferring money online. Okay, so it's just very modest response. Okay, so when it's modest, then normally your band will be low. Okay, you won't be getting high. You will getting high marks because it's more like touch and go. So uh, what matters in task fulfillment is the quality of your elaboration, not the quantity. It doesn't matter because candidates tend to give 2, 3, even 4 answers, but it's very modest, very touch and go. All right, so marks will be low. If you want higher marks, then give more info, add more elaboration. Okay, elaborate more by giving specific example. Okay, this example can be something that related to you, something close to you, because we speak better about things that we know. So you can share things that, let's say, for example, I'm pretty sure that everyone is using online banking now for not just for transferring money, but just let's say for people loves online shopping nowadays, right? So you can talk about that. Okay, so just give specific example, elaborate on the example. Let's say you can continue with, for example, my parents can simply use their smartphone to transfer money online using their online banking app at their uh, own convenience anytime and anywhere without having to leave the comfort of their home and go through traffic jam just to transfer money for my expenses. Okay, so give example, elaborate on that example. Okay, that is one aspect, which is the task fulfillment. I hope I'm not going too fast. Okay, um, next one. The other two parts, the other two criterion that examiners are looking at will be discourse management and language. So these two criterion are basically about fluency, confidence, comprehensibility of the presentation, and also the cohesion. So my advice is like um, try not to read from the text, because if you're reading from text, that shows that you are not confident. Okay, and then in terms of a language or grammar, avoid using simple sentence. Try out complex sentence. The use of vocabulary expanded, meaning that use low frequency words, and minimize basic grammatical errors, like subject verb agreement and those. Okay. Okay, so basically that's it. Okay, when it comes to part one, because what matters is the content and how you deliver your discussion, right? Okay, so let's move on to the next slide. Okay, part two. For part two, is group discussion, which means there need to be interaction between group members, not you and the examiners. So avoid interaction with the examiners, meaning that asking question to the examiners. If you, there is there's anything that you don't understand, you are not allowed to ask question. Okay, and we even the examiners are not allowed to actually um, uh, what do you call that? Respond to the questions by the candidates. Okay, something related to the task lah. All right. So how to tackle part two? Okay, as part two is all about interaction between the candidates, so make sure that you interact with each other by discussing the ideas given. Right, we have about 5 points given altogether. So discuss that. It's up to you whether you want to discuss only one or all five. But then if you discuss only one, then the discussion will be very dull. So compare and contrast all the 5 points given and have eye contact with each other. So when you have eye contact with all the members, then there will be interaction, meaning that you are not actually reading from your text. Okay, so you are addressing everyone in the group. Okay, so avoid looking at the examiners, please, because I would say that will make you more nervous. Um, right. You can focus on these strategies. Uh, okay. Listen to other candidates.
Madam, sorry to interrupt.
Mm-hmm.
One of the watchers asked a question about, Madam, if some words we use American accent, can or cannot?
We don't really care about the accent. If you want to use Australian accent, go ahead, no problem, as long as it's comprehensible and make it like consistent. If you're using American accent, then stick to that. If you are if you are more comfortable using British accent, then go ahead. Okay, but I would say that Malaysians, we have our own accent. So just don't worry so much about these pronunciation things, as everyone has their own way of pronouncing things. As long as correct, okay, comprehensible, the examiners won't have like, what's that? Okay, then you are right, or you are on the right track. No problem. Okay, what matters is the content. Okay, that one, that is a crucial part of a presentation. If you have good content, good elaboration, then the others are like bonus. Okay, so uh, focus more on preparing good discussion, because that will help you tremendously. Okay, so moving on. All right, so for part two, you can focus on these strategies. So listen and respond. So please, I beg you, listen to the other candidates and respond to what they were saying. Because if you don't listen, you won't be able to actually respond to what they are saying. So when you listen, then only you can actually respond to that by giving, by justifying your agreement or disagreement. Okay, when you listen to people saying, oh, this is the best strategy. Okay, so agree or disagree, state your stand, right? And don't just simply stop at that. Okay, I agree with what you said, candidate A, and then okay, you continue with your discussion right away, your own idea, your own point. That is not good. That is not discussion. That is you presenting your ideas. So that is not part two, not what the examiners are looking for. Okay, so justify your agreement by clarifying why you agree, why you disagree on what this candidate say. Okay, because your main task is to actually discuss whether, okay, out of these five suggestions, which is the best. So in order for you to discuss, you have to actually listen to each other and justify your discussion, your stand, your agreement or disagreement. Okay, so in order to do so, in order to justify, you have to actually compare and contrast the ideas given. Let's say you agree on point one, and then the other candidate is agreeing on point two. So if you are agreeing on point one, then you have to justify why your point is better than point two. Okay, so you can compare and contrast by, let's say, for example, talking about the cause and effect. You can also talk about problem and solution. Okay, so you can use that to to talk about the pros and cons of each point. Then only at the end of the 12 minutes, because for group discussion, depending on how many members we have, let's say we have four, then it will be 8 to 12 minutes discussion. So during the last minute of the during the 12 minutes to wrap up, you can actually come up with one conclusion. I would like to highlight here that a conclusion is not compulsory. So if you let's say the examiners says, okay, your time is up, Okay, you don't have to worry that you didn't come up with conclusion, because it's not compulsory, and the examiners are not going to penalize you for not being able to come up with conclusion. Okay, so just make sure that you are discussing the task given. All right. Another thing about part two is that if you want high marks, okay, you have to uh, bring in new ideas. Meaning that you have to actually expand the discussion a bit. So this one will help you in getting marks for the interactive communication, the discourse management, the topic development. Okay, because for this criterion whereby how the candidates expanded and contrast each idea, and then how you address each other's views, how you link your point to others by comparing and contrasting ideas, and the best way of like gaining marks is by bringing in new ideas. But if you like, I don't know what else to say, then just stick with whatever points given. You can still earn marks. Don't worry. Okay. So just don't overstress yourself, and then, oh, I need to think of new ideas. No, you don't really have to. You just can earn marks. Okay, so one thing that candidates have to actually remember is that we are looking at your confidence level as well. So again, just like what I have mentioned in part one, try not to read from the text. Okay, let's say, yeah, you are given time. Okay, for part one you are given 2 minutes to prepare, and then for part two you are given 3 minutes to prepare. Okay, but while preparing, don't come up with one whole essay. Okay, just point. So when you have only point, okay, some sort of like mind maps or points ideas, so your tendency of looking at the points is like lesser, because the more you rely on your points, on your notes, then the more unconfident you will appear to the examiners. So have eye contact with the other candidates, acknowledge when they say something. Let's say okay, yeah, yes, if let's say you have questions, politely interrupt, politely ask permission to actually respond or ask question. Okay, all right. So actually, this is the last slide, because our focus is more on the exam day. So I'm just sharing with you the tips on the exam day, on the waiting room, the quarantine, the exam room, and also what the candidates are going to go through in exam room with part one and
Madam,
also part two. So I'm
there is a
opening for
question
questions.
from Darren. Are we allowed to record what other candidates said?
Okay, I am a bit confused with the question. What do you mean by record?
Yeah, same.
Okay, because no
Okay.
phones are allowed. So
Yeah.
are
The
you
other question.
implying that, like down what the other candidates are saying? Okay, for your information, after the preparation time is over, you are not allowed to write anything. Okay, so meaning that while the other candidates are presenting, you are allowed to only listen without actually jotting down anything on your paper. So um, because we are the examiners are testing your listening and also your speaking skills. Okay, because group discussion is all about you focusing on what others are saying. If you are too busy taking notes, just like when you go to a lecture, like your lecturer is presenting in front and then you are busy taking notes, you will not actually pay attention. You are just like scribbling, you just scribble your notes, and then you will not actually focus on what's being discussed. Okay, so in group discussion, you listen, do not write anything. Just if you focus, if you listen, then you are able to grasp whatever being delivered by the other presenters, by the candidates. Okay, I hope
Okay, the
I
other
answered
question
that question.
is it better to be aware of the amount of time you've been speaking and stop before the time's up, or just continue speaking until the examiner tell you to stop?
Okay, thank you. Right, so okay, when it comes to time, say for part one, you are given 2 minutes to speak, and the examiner will actually hold a stopwatch. So I would say just keep on talking until the examiner says, "Okay, your time is up," because the examiner will stop you at precisely 2 minutes for part one and 12 minutes for group discussion in part two. Okay, if we have three members in part two, then in a group, then it will be 6 to 9 minutes, 6 to 9 minutes for group discussion. Just continue talking. Don't worry about other things. Just worry about your own presentation. The examiners will alert you all the time. Okay, that's my answer. We have another question, right?
Yeah. During the presentation time in group discussion, are we allowed to discuss about the points together with group mates, like verbally discussing?
I This is a bit unclear. What do you mean? During the preparation time in group discussion, are we allowed? Oh, okay. During the preparation time in group discussion, are we allowed to discuss about the points together with the group members? Okay, so during the preparation time, you have to do it individually. No discussion allowed. It's just you and your writing paper. They will provide one. The examiners will provide one paper. This one is from the MPM with the MPM logo. So that's it. No discussion, no discussing with other group members. Okay.
Okay. And think if we didn't touch one of the points during group discussion, will it affect our marks?
Okay, for group discussion, there are 5 points or 5 ideas given. You can choose whether you want to discuss only on one, two, three, or four, or all five. It's your choice. The examiners are not going to penalize you. But I would say, like when you are discussing for 10 minutes, 12 minutes, if you're talking only 1 point, what will happen? You will stop at 2, 3 minutes. Okay, after that, you don't know what else to say. You will be like, creak, creak. You don't know what. Like you will be looking at each other. Okay, that's why it's, you need to compare and contrast the points given there, because when you start to compare, there'll be more to talk about. Okay, then there will be discussion and interaction between each other.
Yeah, the question is in part one, what if you accidentally touch upon other candidates' point while presenting your own points?
Okay, for part one, all right, for your information, the question paper, we have a specific page for candidate A, candidate B, candidate C, candidate D. So each page of paper will be placed on the respective candidate's seat, meaning that what you have before you, in front of you, is just the your part, meaning that candidate A will have only candidate A's task for part one. You won't know what the other candidates points, so this such thing or situation won't happen, meaning that you are only looking at your idea. So how are you going to talk about other candidates point while you are present, you only have this particular question? So it won't happen. This is not like the old format whereby part question for part one and part two is the same. For the new format, question for part one is different. Question for part two is totally different, just under the same topic. If I am getting really nervous during the exam, can I stand up because it makes me feel better? It's going to be very awkward, my dear, because the other candidates are sitting down, and if you are the only one standing, then it's going to be very awkward. So, if let's say you are nervous, then try to find other alternative to overcome that nervousness. Okay, because everyone need to be seated down. To need to be seated. Okay, so find a solution to that.
The next question is from Muhammad Anas. I want to ask you what we can do if we don't know how to elaborate the points given during the test.
Okay, the questions are catered to the questions are set to cater uh, students from mixed abilities. So meaning that it's like the question itself is at level A2, meaning that the lowest the level in comprehensible part of CEFR. So meaning that you the question itself is comprehensible, is very easy and related to everyday's life. Okay, your life as students, about gadgets, about technology, something about us being Malaysian, about patriotism, something about social skills, about communication skills, about interview, seeking jobs. Something that you know, something that is very close to you. Okay, it's not something about very difficult questions about nuclear, about I know like something that extraordinary. Okay, so far, looking at session one, session two, and also the MOD questions. The topic are very, I would say, common, something that our general knowledge, something that you know. So I would, I think it's not going to be a problem for you to discuss that. It's just a matter of vocabulary, because sometimes students are groping for words because they have the idea, yet the vocabulary is very limited. Thus, it's actually limiting them into delivering good discussion or good presentation. Okay, so if let's say for group discussion, if you really happen to be like in a dire situation where you don't know what to say, then listen to each other, then comment on the points given by that particular candidates. Then hopefully you you is giving you chance, opportunity to express your idea. So what you can do is look at the example given by that particular candidate, give a different example. So it shows that you are expanding the discussion. Just don't repeat every single thing said by the other candidate. then you are like, if you are parroting whatever they said, then your marks will be low. Okay.
The next question is, Madam, when the examiners tell us our time is over, do we need to completely stop talking or say thank you to the examiner for listening, or etc. and etc.
Okay. Okay. So the examiner will actually notify you of the time, right? So once the examiner says your time is up, then you, I would say, just stop. Okay, because some examiners, they are very concerned about time, so they normally just stop you, and they won't actually give you, like another uh, extra time to actually, for you to actually finish. So just stop, because you have presented your idea in the given time. So just thank the examiner, right?
Okay, the next question, can we use others' candidate elaboration into our explanation for part 1?
Part one is individual presentation, and what you have in front of you is just your point. Okay, so you won't be you are not going to actually elaborate other candidates' idea or point.
Okay. I have a question, my personal question. Okay,
Mhm.
speaking test, right, which is like the biggest fear for students, has made many of the students to fall in a state of trepidation. Is there any other way for a group mate to help other group mates during the group argument or discussion session, or is it all for ourselves?
Okay. For part two, group discussion, I would encourage you to help each other. If let's say we have one candidate who turns out to be very quiet, very passive, so you can prompt each other. Okay, prompt here meaning you can ask question. Okay, let's say for example, um, candidate A, what do you think if, let's say, we say that smartphone helps us to use to ease our online banking transaction. Okay, what do you think of that? Okay, so you can ask question. Okay, but don't um, provoke the other candidate. Don't like keep on asking questions. If let's say the candidate just say, I agree, I disagree. Yeah. If they are giving just like one word kind of answer, then um, it's just go on lah. Because 12 minutes is not that long actually. So if there are, let's say, four of you, it's basically 3 minutes for each candidate. Okay, which means you don't have enough time to discuss, right? So stop wasting on candidates that refuse to be helped. Okay, if you want, if they are really, if they are embracing the help, then they will actually respond to you. Okay, but you can try. That will help you in terms of, it shows that you are doing a teamwork. So that will give you some sort of a bonus mark, because the examiner says that you are trying to help the other candidate. So that is good.
During our presentation, can we remove our mask to make our voices clearly?
You
Make
are
our
not
voice
allowed
clear.
to. Okay, according to the SOP, you are not allowed to actually pull down your marks. But then, if let's say the candidate's voice is too slow, it's like we can't really, it's not audible, we can't hear, the examiners can't hear the candidates, then you are allowed to pull down your mask. So don't worry about that. But just while you are talking, the moment you stop, then you have to wear it properly again.
Does having a lift affect your marks or we need to inform the examiners first?
Come again?
Does having a speech defect will affect our marks?
Speech defect, what do you mean? Example?
Like we cannot pronounce
Uh,
some words, speech defect.
if you have problem in pronouncing certain words,
Yeah.
then uh, come again with the question.
Where is it again? Does having a lisp affect your marks? A
Can you
speech
go to the,
defect.
can you go to the question? I wanna read it, possible.
From Darren Chin. It's like you can pronounce the word, but you cannot pronounce the word.
Okay. Oh, this one. All right. So, um, slips of tongue. You know, like very minor. What do we say? Errors. It's like we we will normally ignore that because we know that it's a slip of tongue, and if at least you miss somewhat accidentally mispronounce certain word, but that it happens once, we know that it's accident. So then we will try, we know if the would repeat
Mm.
once, like.
Sorry, madam. I think what Darren meant was a speech defect. Okay, maybe the candidate cannot pronounce. Sorry, hold on, maybe the candidate cannot pronounce
R.
certain letter. Maybe R. All
Okay.
those things. That's speech defect. Okay,
Okay.
yeah, I think that's the question all about. Okay, thank you.
So thank you, Madam
All
Rose.
right. Okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
all right. So if that, what you can do is you can inform the examiner before your exam starts. Tell the examiner that I have a bit of difficulty in pronouncing R. I have difficulty in pronouncing S. Ada yang pelat kan? Okay, so you can notify the examiner, because once you get into the exam room, okay, the examiner will actually call your index number. Okay, so let's say 5421 candidate A, 5422 candidate B, 5423 candidate C, 5524 candidate D. So you can, once you are seated, you have to actually sanitize your seat. Okay, but then when the examiner asks for your IC, you can just okay, madam or sir, I have a little bit of problem in this. Just state whatever situation you are at, your problem. Then the examiner, when once the examiners are, note down your situation, then I think it won't be a big issue.
Uh, from Muhammad Shamil, can I call the candidates as their name? Because I don't have much time to remind their candidate A, B, C, or D.
uh, on each table, on each desk, there will be label candidate A, B, C, or D. So you can refer to that label. All right. Uh, if you know their name, you can call out their name. It doesn't matter. We don't know their name actually. The examiners don't really know the names of the candidate, because no, the list is your IC only.
If we do not know the meaning of the word in the question, are we allowed to ask the examiners to explain it?
No, uh, uh, candidates are not allowed to ask anything to the examiners, because the questions are comprehensible, level A2, meaning that you should know all the words written in the question paper. So it's not something that is too difficult for you to comprehend.
Madam, will we be allowed to bring our water bottles into the waiting room?
Bawa lah, nak bawa apa pun, except for you can bring anything. except actually you are going from the quarantine room, you are going to bring all your belongings into the exam room, and then there will be they will the examiners will actually instruct you. They will tell you, okay, so please put your belongings here. If let's say you need your water bottle, you need to drink during your presentation, then yeah, you can have it with you. It's just that no phone, just the pen, pencil, IC, white slip, and if you need your water bottles, then yeah, you can bring it with you. No problem.
Okay, madam. In part two, if like the other group mates are not talking and we are not taking the opportunity to interrupt, can we receive extra mark for talking a lot or not?
Try not to dominate the discussion because it will affect your marks. But then, if let's say the other candidates are not cooperating, they are not really joining or engaging in the discussion, then you can let's say prompt them by asking questions. Just that don't dominate the discussion. If you are dominating the discussion, it's not going to give a good impression to the examiners, because like you are being a bit selfish, you are like not helping others. So try to help out first. If you are putting effort into urging the others to actually speak, discuss, and then they refuse to do so, then the examiners will know. You don't have to worry, because the examiners will actually observe everything from beginning until the end. So the examiners will know the what's going on. The examiners will see what's happening.
Okay, a question from Sarah. Madam, can we use short form words like I'm, with, and don't, and etc.?
I don't see a problem with that, unless you are talking about gonna, wanna. Those are not allowed. Okay, contractions like isn't, this isn't a good thing, then it's okay. But words, slang like gonna, wanna, don'tcha, none of the words American love to use, right? Those are not allowed. We are talking about formal English use here. Okay, so it has to be academic English. Anything else?
Uh,
It's already
a question.
9:56. I have to stop at 10.
Okay. I think one more question. What if the given 2 minutes had passed? Can I still go for an extra 10 to 15 seconds to summarize my task one?
Summarize. Conclusion is not compulsory. So don't worry so much about making a conclusion. Okay, if the examiner says your time is up, then just say thank you and stop. Okay, that's the last
Okay.
question.
I think so. There's no other question.
All right. So that's it for me. I hope that whatever I have shared somewhat benefit you guys, and good luck in the upcoming web speaking. Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you all for the question. Also, thank you, madam, for the answers. We have come to an end for our first session. Thank you to Madam Harnianti for the knowledge that has been shared with us. I hope it helped you a bunch for the upcoming test. Before we continue to our second session, you are now given a 30-minute break. They will be given a new link for the second session, so please stay notified. All attendees are informed to leave this meet and join the new link that will be given shortly. All attendees need to join the second meeting before 10:30 because that is the time we will start. Thank you all. See you in the next meeting.
Okay, everyone. So I've given the new. It's my boss on. Okay, everybody. I've given the link. Yeah. I've given the new link in the message, the chat box. So you can go to the link, and 10:15 we're going to start the live session, but the session will start at 10:30, but you come early. Okay? All right. See you in the next session. So I'll post again the link to the next session. Yeah. There. It's in the comment. Yeah. Okay. See you. Bye bye. Assalamualaikum.